Yesterday, Alabama completed its 16th practice, getting ready for that showdown in Bryant-Denny, where Kalen DeBoer debuts as the Alabama football coach on the 31st against Western Kentucky. We're going to give you the 16th practice report. We're going to talk about a huge get for Alabama and the recruiting side of things in AK Deer, which we've been saying was going to happen for a while, but it happened officially yesterday. And more right here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. And let's get this party started, guys. Roll Tide. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's going to be a fun show. Promise you that. Everybody, and Roll Tide. Welcome to the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. That is Brett Elmore, Big Sexy Elmo. I'm Mick Gillespie. No nickname here, but at Broadcaster Mick, at Brett Elmore Show.
I have plenty of nicknames for you. And hey, pal, in that opening, I really liked how you said the Tide was preparing for that showdown with Western Kentucky. That's going to be a beatdown, not a showdown.
Yeah, let's hope so, man. I mean, that's what we're expecting, right? Well, look, 16th practice is in the book. Some cliff notes on this one. Bama split the team up jersey-wise, where it was the first time where the crimson jerseys were the offense, the white jerseys were the defense. You get through 2 scrimmages, so there's no more scrimmages anymore. The defense was inside the Hank Crisp indoor facility. The running backs looked healthier. I think that's something that you can really get into. We're going to talk about that as well, which is, very important, although Jam Miller was in a no-contact jersey. And I'm excited about all of the stuff going on with this team. And now one of the questions that we've had is about defense. And, I've kind of questioned, how physical is the scrimmages? How physical are the practices? Because we aren't getting anyone hurt, which is a good thing. Nick Saban was always known for having really physical practices. And I hear that from the guys that played that hang out, here and talk to me and tell me that. And they said that's why they were ready, but that's also why you lose guys before season would even start, right? Because injuries and stuff. Anyway, here's Kane Wommack talking about where this team is on defense right now.
Last scrimmage. We talk about this all the time. Game day is always different. It's a different mentality. And there's nothing that we can do to emulate exactly what game day is going to be, but a scrimmage is the closest simulation that we can give you to exactly what game day is going to be like. And so jobs are won and lost in those situations. There's a different level of intensity in that moment, right? There's not quite as many reps overall, right? You're just getting more game style reps. And I thought our guys rose to the level from a physicality standpoint. Their execution was really good with our tackling, significantly improved. And then there was some really good situational work that we're doing. I think Coach DeBoer, Kalen does a tremendous job of just getting our guys ready from a situational standpoint and preparing them for all the scenarios that can come up in a game. We may work a situation that, we may play 1,300 snaps next year, and that we may only run that situation one time, right? But I think we do a really good job of covering those things. So
I'll tell you what, first off, I'm really amazed that this guy wears that hoodie.
Yeah, me too.
In the heat. But I think he's losing some weight. It's like a one of those fat suits, that you wear. I mean, he looks thinner than we saw at the beginning of the year. I might need to follow up on that.
Me too. I may have to put on 2 hoodies. But the weather has been great here in North Alabama, actually, the past couple of days. The mornings have really had a touch of fall in the air. The humidity has been
I thought
really
you were going to say
low.
touch of gray.
Nah. Just a touch of fall in the air, and the humidity's been down during the day. It's been like 90 degrees. It's been really nice. But anyway, look, we're down to what? Let's see. This was practice 16. I think we are down to 8 practices left. The season's here, and I guess we better be ready. That's all I know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, it's coming down.
I
like
mean, it's
it's like 10 days, man. 10 days.
you just have to avoid those injuries and get better. And they'll be implementing, I'm sure, their game plan for Western Kentucky. And man, it's just hard to believe that it's almost here, but it is.
Yeah, it is. And I like to hear that. I mean, we're not allowed in there to watch the scrimmage. I mean, we can only hear what we hear from the people that we know that are there. And I know that this isn't Nick Saban's team. I know that it's
No.
different. I worry about the team not being prepared because maybe they haven't been as physical this year than they have in the past. You get out there, maybe you're healthier, but the physicality of the game, is something that when you get into that contest against Wisconsin, you get against Georgia, there's going to be a lot of pop in there. But that's also a few games in too, and that's 3-4 games in. So you have the opportunity to do that. But these are Super Bowl games for Western Kentucky and South Florida, and they're not teams that are bad. I mean, I'm sorry.
No.
Up to the level of Alabama, but they're not bad teams. So if you go in there, turn the ball over, mess around, you could put yourself in a bad situation.
Oh yeah, you'd been a terrible situation if you lose one of those games.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, you make comparisons, and we talked about it the other day. Everyone's going to be making comparisons. We compared, the physicality part of it, which I always love Nick Saban's tough teams. I wanted them to be mean, and we heard the story about Manti Te'o talking about Alabama coming out of the locker room and Notre Dame's eyes getting big as saucers, and they knew they were in for a night of their lives as they got the ever-living stomped out of them there in Miami. But we were physical and mean, and that's what I love. And also, little bitty notes like this: practicing at 9 o'clock in the morning instead of the heat of the day when Saban would do it. How does that affect you? Little things like that. I don't know. The next down I coach will be the first down that I ever coach football, and I have to trust DeBoer's record. And he has a record of success, so I'm not going to doubt him until something bad happens.
Yeah, right. Well, and I'm afraid that that's something that could happen too. I mean, if things don't go well, how solid are all of you guys on the DeBoer train? And I'm going to stop it right there. Brett, you hold your thoughts. I'm going to bring Kane back on because he was asked about DeBoer and his press conference, and I like this answer.
Well, Kalen and I had been in the foxhole together, before. And so, when you get to know Kalen DeBoer, you see the confidence that he has. It's certainly a humble confidence. But for his, players, coaches, the way he conducts himself, the way that he game plans, the stress that our offense puts on people, I thought was certainly an opportunity to get, back with him and to work with him again was something I was really looking forward to. And then, I think we talk about this, right? The greatest players always step up in the biggest moments. Well, it's the same thing for coaches, right? Coach Saban has really set the standard of what defensive play is supposed to look like in college football for the last 3 decades. And to be able to, step in place for that and to be able to run this defense and make some changes in what we're doing and all the things he's been able to do to help. I wanted to take advantage of that opportunity. I wanted to be able to continue the legacy that he's created here and defensive foundation and the way that we do things. And so I just thought it was a special opportunity and one I was not going to pass up.
So 2 things there. First off, he's not jumping out of the foxhole with Kalen DeBoer if things don't go well. And he's worked with him before, wanted to be part of the staff, but also wanted to be at Alabama. And he left a head coaching job to come to Tuscaloosa, which really is phenomenal. I mean, if your goal is to be a head coach and you're a head coach, to take a step back to a coordinator's job, but doing it at Alabama might not be a step back after all.
I don't think it's a lateral move to be the coordinator at Alabama. I mean, it's a pretty prestigious position. But still, yeah, I mean, he's been in the foxhole with him. And you brought up a good point. I mean, it's like, what if something goes bad? What's going to happen after that first loss?
Yeah, right.
what's going to happen after the first loss? What's the reaction going to be like? I guess it depends on how you lose. Do you look terrible against Georgia and just get blasted? I mean, what will the reaction be then?
Yeah.
Everything's been very positive up to this point. Everything has, from recruiting to the fan base to everything else. Everybody's been positive. We've been positive. We're looking forward to it. But the fact of the matter is, he's never had this kind of talent pool before in his coaching career. I mean, there's athletes all over the field, and they were there when he got there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Saban didn't leave the cupboard bare. I mean, we had a great team coming back, and that's what Saban said. Said he knew we had a pretty good team coming back.
Yep.
And he still, decided to retire. But we'll see. It's going to be an interesting year, that's for sure.
It's going to be a fun year.
And I've got the sunshine coming through the blinds. It brings to mind sunshine on my shoulders, makes me happy. So does football season. I forgot to close the blinds before I got started here.
Look at you. Yeah. Actually, you look great. It's the best you've ever looked on here before.
Really? Thank you.
Hey, let's talk a little recruiting.
Yeah.
You and I have been on this for a long time. A.K. Deer, 4-star running back, Quitman, Mississippi, can do it all. Run through tackles, catch the football, has a nose for the end zone, was an Ole Miss commit, decommitted, and then picked Alabama. First off, I'm really glad that he's coming because he's going to fit the offense. I think it's a big deal for Alabama to get this guy. It also helps with the perception that Alabama had lost 3 straight guys, 2 to Auburn and 1 to Tennessee.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to sort of, I wouldn't want to say stop the bleeding, but it was kind of getting iffy there for a minute. And then this news coming yesterday that A.K. Deer did exactly what we expected him to do. Commit to Alabama is a nice little boost heading into the next week and a half before the regular season starts. That's a nice commitment. And we figured he was going to be coming, and he is. And I can't wait to see him wearing that crimson.
I can't either. And I'm wondering maybe who the next guy is. And we talked about it yesterday. They've got a linebacker spot open now. Ty Jackson getting a lot of run now. One of the top linebackers, maybe the top linebacker that's available in this class. And we'll see what happens there. But it's going to be fun. I mean, this is another really good player. Bama's recruiting is, still, even with those 3 losses, still pretty close to number 1. And we'll see how they finish because there's still some big fish out there for them to catch. They still have a few spots left. You want to try to keep the guys that you have, which isn't always easy. But at the same time, in this world of NIL, you're going to lose some guys. The other schools are going to come in. They're going to buy players. They're going to, basically just however much you're going to spend, they're going to spend more. And if it's about the money, guys are going to go somewhere else. Kalen DeBoer and his staff have done a really nice job of getting guys that are going to get some NIL money, but also want to be in Tuscaloosa. And I think that's important as well. So we'll see how this thing finishes. But a big get for Alabama there out of Mississippi. And our buddy Caleb Cunningham. Now he's got another guy from the Magnolia State to be part of this class with him.
Yeah, and that's a big deal, man. Getting those 2 out of Mississippi is a really big hit, I think, to Mississippi State and Ole Miss. But yeah, I mean, you mentioned those NIL deals, man. You never know. Those McDonald's bags are getting bigger and bigger by the
day. Hey, guys, a couple of things I want to tell you about. First off, I'm on Cover Crimson. It's $1 right now to join covercrimson.com. Really proud to be a part of that with my buddy Clint Lamb and a host of other very creative people, including Jake Coker and Mike Johnson soon. So it's fun for me. I mean, I just get the opportunity to hang out with this guy here, someone I love a lot, and Brett Elmore, and then I get to go hang out with my other buddies on Cover Crimson and talk about Alabama football and all that stuff there. So I want to invite you guys to that YouTube channel and also to their website and ask you to be a part of that. The other thing, okay, it's that time of year where we start talking about the drive for number 19. And the drive for number 19 at newlifeart.com with the promo code Bama Tailgate gets you 19% off from now until August 31st, until kickoff. And if Alabama wins, I might extend that to Labor Day. We'll see what happens. But take advantage of that Bama Tailgate for 19% off from now until then. Get your prints, get the classics, whatever you want, go on there and take advantage of that deal right now while we have it. Now, the final thing I want to tell you is that today, probably by the time you're watching this, I will be heading to Pearl River Resort. I'm going to hang with our guy, Steve Azar, who is a really brilliant country singer, great songs. And he's got Not Me Until Monday, which is the name of his brand new Bloody Mary mix. And they wanted someone to come hang out with Steve and drink some Bloody Marys. Brett didn't want to do it. And I understand that. I mean, he's busy. He's not. Oh, hey, buddy. He's not as much of a Bloody Mary guy as I am. And I love a good Bloody Mary. So I'm going to hang out with him. I'll be there today and tomorrow morning. And if you're in the area, swing by and see us at Timeout Sports Lounge, which is in Golden Moon Casino. We're going to be over at Dancing Rabbit Golf Course as well. That's the Augusta you can play. And right now, go to the sports book, put $50 down, and you can play Dancing Rabbit for $40. But they got the spa. Maybe you have to hit that. They got the water park, Geyser Falls. Maybe I go do that as well. Or table games and slots at some really awesome places, including Silver Star and Golden Moon Casino, as he pops back on there again. Some awesome country acts coming. Gary Allen's going to be there, and so is Scotty McCrary. They're part of their fall concert tours, and Rodney Carrington is coming at the end of the month, the comedian. And I've seen Rodney Carrington a bunch of times. He's hilarious. He's absolutely hilarious. But find out for yourself at Pearl River Resort. And again, I'll be there later on today. All right, when we come back out of this break, Big Sexy Elmo takes over the show. Roll Tide, everybody.
Pearl River Resort. They call him Big Sexy, coming at you from the Walker County. Jasper is his hometown. He's known for giving free rundowns. Oh, Big Sexy, throwing out those Alabama thoughts, sneaking out your mom's window without getting caught. It gives you the XP, but Big Elmo is here to please. Big Sexy Elmo on the Bama Tailgate Show.
Raise your hand if you sing along every time.
I love it. I love it. The West Jasper 7 are an amazing group, and maybe you can get them to play. What is it? Foothills Festival. Wouldn't that be great if they just took one of the stages and just performed?
just took over. Yeah, Foothills Festival. Folks, if you are in like this area, Foothills Festival is like the greatest thing ever. The streets of downtown Jasper shut down. It's a free 2-day concert, and it's September 13th and 14th. And the Friday night, we've got Sammy Kershaw and Mark Chestnut, and then a really good Allman Brothers tribute band to open up the night. And then on Saturday night, we have Cowboy Mouth, Fuel, and Better Than Ezra. So it'll be a 2-day event. It's free, and you're invited. And I'll be up on stage introducing Fuel to the crowd, which will be fun. Last year I got to intro Scott Stapp, who played our festival.
Nice. We like to say noise.
Let's get to the birthday.
What was before we get there, what was the 90s rock bands that were just in Birmingham? Like it was like a 90s rock band festival.
Well, 2 shows came through. Creed came through.
Oh yeah, Creed, yeah.
Yeah.
And you said Scott Stapp was a big Alabama fan. His family's from Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, huge Alabama fan.
Cool. What's one of those songs?
Huh? Do what?
What's
Creed?
one of those Creed songs? Yeah, just from
With Arms Wide Open and
Arms Wide Open.
Oh, girl, can you take me higher? That song. And then the other night they had Train and Yacht Rock Review, which I've heard is really good.
My buddy Clint went to Yacht Rock Review and wore the Clint Lamb, and him and his brother, they dress like they wear the captain's hats with
nice. Okay, they go all out there. Yeah. That's cool.
I think if I asked him about that on one of our shows, it's like he's so locked into all the stuff he's doing, and then there I come with the slider. It's like,
yeah. Clint's so locked into Alabama football. That's like and he's really, really good at what he does.
He knows it, man.
God, man, that guy knows his stuff. And
he did some shows with us over here. He's like, we just keep distracting him. Like he's
right. He's talking about the running back room, and I'm over here, saying, "Hey, I like that guitar that's in the back. What you got back there?
What songs you know, buddy?
Hey, buddy, do you play some on the side, like some side gigs?
Is it tuned up?
Is it tuned up? Have you got it? Or do you tune by ear? Or do you use auto tune? Be real."
He's like, and then Alabama's running backs, and you're like, what's your favorite band?
Right? Yeah. Hey, Clint, do you remember the band Prodigy? They were really good back in the 90s.
Oh, that's good, man.
Oh my God. Anyway,
if any of you guys are laughing, thank you, and if you're not, we'll move on.
Yeah, we'll just move on to the birthdays for today. Guitarist James Burton. He was with Elvis Presley. 85 today.
Is he still alive?
I believe so. Yeah.
I know someone that is, like obsessed with Elvis. And then of course we got our friend David Lee, who actually is Elvis, right? He's all over the place. He just got back from Memphis. He's one of the ultimate Elvises. So of tribute artists, he's like the top of the top, man. A cousin that did it and was really good. And when I said I was friends with David Lee, he was like, "Oh man, that's awesome." Because to be good at it's one thing, but to be great at it, 30 years great at it is another thing. And so he was up there in Memphis. He just got back from Australia. Like he's done that forever, but he's great. And then
he's great at it.
And then of course Stephanie, just all she wants to talk about is the Elvises and stuff. Like for someone that's been gone for so long, it's crazy how we still, we talk about him a lot on here. We can't not.
Yeah. He was the king of rock and roll.
Yeah.
Grew up loving listening to Elvis, man. It's great. Actress Kim Cattrall, she was on Sex and the City. She's 68 today.
Which one was she?
I'm not sure.
One of the friends or something?
She was, but she was on Sex and the City. It's a slow day as far as birthdays. There was a singer that's turning 45 today. Do you remember the singer Khalees?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You remember Khalees? She says, "My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard."
I love that song.
It's better than yours.
Yeah. It was a good one. That's one of the classics.
That's one of the classic.
We still even remember that one. We still know that.
Yeah. She's 45 today.
Happy birthday.
And musician Casey Musgraves is 36 today.
Okay. What was he known for?
That's a she. And Casey was Casey's a very talented country musician.
I always think like you say Casey, and I was ready for you to be like, and Casey Kasem. And then I want to be like a long distance dedication for Brett Elmore.
Yeah, right.
Dear Brett. I'm a huge listener from Australia, and I love Elvis. My boyfriend broke up with me last Friday, and we're trying to work it out. Would you play an Elvis song that says that I love you, but I don't believe a word you're saying?
Right.
Well, Brett, I will. Suspicious Minds by Elvis.
Yeah, there you go.
Coming at you.
If you're looking for something to celebrate today.
There's a lot of people that don't even know what I'm talking about.
Right.
The guy Casey Kasem used to do the top 40 countdown.
Yeah.
But he was also the voice of Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, he was also Scooby-Doo. If you're looking for something
and Shaggy.
And if you're looking for something to celebrate today, Today is Men's Grooming Day.
Hey, look at us, man. We're groomed up. No hat on today.
We're looking. You know what? I think we look pretty damn good.
I debate every day. Like, I like hat, but I know that when I don't have hat on, the numbers are better. So, and
Really?
then one time I'll tell you this, like, you read the comments and somebody was like, Mick, you have a big forehead. And that caused the hat for at least 3 more days. I was just hurt to my soul to say that. You don't think I know I got a big forehead? I've had the same forehead my entire life. I work with what God gave me. Okay, people.
And yeah, I understand, and I do too. I mean,
we are selling space on here for the site. Cover Crimson.
Well, I mean, I normally jump on this thing, and then for 15 minutes, Mick's always going like this.
Yeah, because I'm trying to fix the hair. I'm trying to fix the hair.
Yeah, it looks fine. What's
it's the angle? It's the angle.
Oh, okay. See now he's starting to worry again. Today is also Senior Citizens Day. So happy Senior Citizens Day to you, Mick.
What's the when do you get the senior citizen discount? How old?
Is it 55, 60?
Oh, please don't tell me it's 55.
I think it's 55. I think it's 55.
I feel like I was just trying to get into Club La Vila with a fake ID. Like it was yesterday that I had. So what I did was back in.
I don't even think Club La Vila's still there, is it?
No, but that's where I turned 21. And before that, but I went to the first time I ever went to Bama. I had a killer ID back in the day now. And I remember how nervous I was when I ordered my first beer in the Bama. Look at me now.
Look at you now. I mean, and I can't believe they didn't know you was 15 years old.
Well, I was thinking about this the other day. One of my first times I ever went to a bar, one of my buddies was the DJ there. He's like, "Hey, it's cool, man. Come out," and it was before like they really got cracking down on that stuff. And the guy behind the bar had a spotlight, and they set me up. I'm just drinking my beer, and all of a sudden this hit me like a deer spotlight. Boom! And he's like, "Hey, how old are you?" And I'm like,
27.
He's like, "You're not 21."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Just admit it." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm 18." And he's like, "All right, don't act up in here."
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Scared the bejesus out of me.
I don't even know if I should. Nah, I shouldn't tell the story. Never mind. Never mind. I'll tell you off the air. Anyway, today in history, 1841, a patent for Venetian blinds was issued to John Hampton. You being a man of luxury and living in the beautiful city of Fairhope and probably the nicest districts of town, you just spent a small fortune, probably more than I spent on my car, to have trees removed from your yard. And you were complaining about now how hot it is in your house. I understand that you ordered your wife to go online and order some of the nicest Venetian blinds that are made available, preferably in crimson color, for your home. And she spent all day measuring all the windows on all sides of your home.
Here's the problem. Is that I live too close to the Mobile Bay to underestimate how important it is to have these trees down, because when you get a hurricane, they'll fall on your house. And there was one that was really close to my house, and it was going to cost $3,500 to take this tree out. But I just kept having, how you have those reoccurring, like, this thoughts, like, this thing's got to go. This thing's got to go. Like, it's almost like you can, like, prophesize the future, right? So then it was like, well, man, once you're already there, there's a bunch of other ones. I'm like, man, why don't we just get them all out of here and start over again? And that's what I did. And they cut that tree out, and the whole tree is hollow, which is incredible. Did I show you, Brett?
You didn't show me. You told me.
No, I'm going to show you the picture.
But But I've been to your estate, and I know the tree that you're talking about. Oh wow! Okay,
That was inside the tree in my
Yeah,
deck.
okay.
You know,
Yeah.
like what would it, that the guy was like, it was going to fall through your bedroom, you know? So I don't
Yeah.
know. They're these, when you have these trees down here and you have hurricanes, you get to become like pretty knowledgeable of the tree scene. And the guys at Sticks came
The
in.
tree scene.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the tree scene. The guys at Sticks came in and actually going to be a sponsor of the Tailgate show. Because even the small fortune that I spent was only really half of what I was probably supposed to spend because it's that expensive to get these trees out. The guys did a great job. Now I got to spend and I got another guy coming in to grind all these stumps up.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sticks Tractor and Tree Service, they really did a great job, man. And they brought this machine in that Ryan Anderson, you know, he's a contractor.
Oh
and,
yeah.
and he's come in. It's like, look, you got to get this machine. And his friend owns it. And I think there's only like one around here.
Oh,
And that's
wow.
what we did. We got the machine, and the machine, it basically comes in and it takes these trees out. That thing right there.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And it's
That
crazy.
looks like money. Yeah. Looks like money.
Yeah, yeah. Like you don't just bring one of these for your, you know, into your yard. But yeah, it was quite a deal. So,
You know, if they was going to charge you $3,500 to take out that tree, probably could have got somebody from Walker County to do it for about $500 and a case of natties.
yeah, the problem is that it would have ended up dropping that tree on my house. Like they had to bring the cranes in.
I didn't say they were insured.
Yeah, no, I mean, like it was, and now, but it is hot, man. It is and it's an inferno right now. So we're in the process of, I guess, getting a backyard again. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I don't know what this has to do with Venetian blinds, but they were issued today.
Well, you were talking about you brought it up, and I already have decent blinds here.
Okay, all right, well,
but I like Venetian blinds.
Oldsmobile opened for business this day in 1897.
Where are they now, man? I mean, when's the last time? I know, it's crazy.
Yep.
Remember when we were kids, like Oldsmobile was one of the better car companies.
Yep, Oldsmobile gone bye-bye. Starsky and Hutch last airs its regular run this day, 1979.
Never really watched the show. And I mean, well, let me take that back. Never watched the show while it was in the run, right? But then it would come on like, you know, it would come on like late night TV, you know, like when TV Land was something and you'd watch it. It's a pretty cool show. I mean, a little bit too, you know, before my time. And the cars looked old then. Think about 1969 cars and think that we landed on the moon. But I mean, like, I watched that show and it always felt like I was going way back in time, but it was a good show. It was pretty exciting stuff.
And finally, I was speaking of sunshine on my shoulders. 1994, John Denver is charged with drunken driving after he crashes his Porsche into a tree.
Okay, so let me go ahead and tell you guys this right now. And Brett doesn't even know this. I don't like John Denver.
Oh, neither.
I love him.
Oh, God.
Love him.
Are you serious?
Love him. Love him. When I was a kid, you know, I told you I came from a family of musicians. They'd always play like Sunshine on My Shoulder. They'd play Thank God I'm a Country Boy. As a matter of fact, when I was a kid, I'd go to the games in Baltimore and they used to play that. I think they still do every seventh inning stretch. Like they do the stretch and then they play Thank God I'm a Country Boy. And I love John Denver. And as a matter of fact, like when he died in that plane crash, the plane crash, and it was like his own plane he wrecked.
Yeah.
I was sad because I always wanted to see him in concert, man. I just the nostalgia of I can remember being a kid and sitting around a campfire and people playing like, you know, folk music and John Denver songs. Country Roads is a great song that he does. You know, I call Whitney Houston my guilty pleasure, you know, because I don't always want to admit that I love Whitney, but John Denver's on my top 5, man. You know, I love John Denver. And, you know, I love the Dead, and I got a lot of different musical interests. Ray Charles is somebody I, you know, went and saw, and I love. I can't believe that I didn't get a chance to see John Denver, and then to kind of throw it all in perspective. You know this, the Muppets I was the biggest Kermit the Frog guy ever. And that's why I do. Look at what I do. I host shows and I'm a reporter, just like old Kerm. And John Denver used to show up on the Muppet Show all the time when I was a kid. So I hate to hear that. I remember when he had that DUI and people turned on him pretty fast. And then next thing you know, he died in a plane crash. And it's like, man, you know, this guy had like the kind of like the bowl cut looking hair with the thing. And then the little round glasses, and it was great on the Muppets Christmas album. Love John Denver.
Playing music around the campfire was not the only thing y'all were doing. That's a look at this day in history.
Hey, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. I hope we entertained you today. And again,
pass it over, pal.
When you guys hang out with us here, it really does make our day to be part of your day.
Put it in the ashtray, Mick. Let's get out of here.
Puff, puff, pass. Roll Tide, everybody.